Hello, my friends, and welcome. Welcome back. Yes, a beautiful weekend here in Dubai. Hot as hell, but nice nevertheless. So today we're going to talk about something very interesting. We're going to talk about, is it ever the right time? And this came up because I have taken calls from two older women this weekend. One as early as this morning. She's 51 and never been married, no kids. She never really got into a real relationship until recently. And you know what? Hey, it's not going so bad. She has been red-pilled, both her and her partner. And of course, that brings some other issues as well, but that's another subject. The other lady, she's been married once before, but she has been off the market for over 6 years. Then I had another gentleman who has been out of a relationship for more than 5 years. He has one son, and he basically don't know at age 45 what he should do, whether he should stay single for the rest of his life because he don't trust Western women, or should he become a passport bro. So I am getting a lot of these calls on older individuals who have reached a point in life where they're going, should I or shouldn't I get involved with someone? And if I'm involved with someone, what should I give up? Why should I sacrifice X? And my advice is very, very clear. And the thing is, a lot of us struggle with this issue. A lot of you ladies are single in your late 20s, going into your early 30s, and even past 35, which I consider middle age, and you're still debating whether you should be getting married to the wrong person. In other words, you don't want to compromise. So these are the things that we're going to be discussing in this episode, my friends. But before I go on, you know what I'm going to ask. Thumbs up on this video, please. And of course, book a session if you'd like to have a chat with me. Also, join our membership site. It is now getting up and running. So for all of you that have already signed up and have witnessed a really crappy site that just starting to get going, log in again. So the fitness program for week 1 is done. So you should jump on that immediately. Let's get this thing rolling. And yes, I have started week 2, so you could start watching that as well. A lot of great information up there to help you lose some weight. So that's the first program that's up there right now. Other courses that are coming up there will be single mothers raising sons. We know that's a major issue. I also have a great program helping you guys how to handle fine dining. Meaning, how many of you know how to go out to a fine dining restaurant? Fine dining etiquette. Most of you don't have a clue. If you want to conquer that, I have another great course coming on that as well. And I'm going to be adding more and more and more courses as we develop. So guys, yes, join the membership program. A lot of great content that you will not find on YouTube. And then of course, shortly, I will start the group program over on Facebook where we can all come together and meet up. All right. So those are the announcements for today. You know, of course, if you have a quick question, get me over on Instagram. Send me a quick voice message and I will respond in kind. All right. So my friends, let's get into today's videos because I think a lot of you have this same problem, which is how do you deal with time as it goes by, man? It can be rough, but you got to be careful about the advice you get from certain people, man, because whew. So let's get into this first lady here. She's a 41-year-old who's trying to advise the 30-year-olds. Ladies, be careful about taking advice from other women. I can tell you that.
I've been seeing this trend on the Clock app and I gotta tap in. So here's 3 pieces of advice for 30-year-olds from a 40-year-old. Well, technically 41. 1, choose yourself. Let me tell you something. As girls, we are taught to put everybody and their mama before us. And that becomes a really sick cycle of denying yourself, repressing yourself, and betraying yourself over time.
All right, I'm going to stop her right there. This is what I don't understand about women. The fact that glorify being selfish is a thing is what drives me insane. And I think this is one of the major problems to the downfall of all societies, because women are choosing to be selfish. It's not about society. It's not about being someone else's helpmate. It's not about being anything else. So she says one of the things about being a woman is that you got to put everybody else first besides yourself. If you have kids, yes. But here's what men are taught, and women will not accept a man if he can't do this. Men have to build himself in order to be able to protect and to provide for his family. Is there anything about that says him first? No. To protect for him and his family. That's it. Protect and provide. Meaning that is a selfless act. Not selfish, selfless. Meaning he puts everybody else first. So the idea that she thinks that, oh, women are taught that she got to put everybody else first. No, my dear. Men are taught the same damn thing. You are not special. Women are not freaking special. They always want to play this bloody victim role, and it's so frustrating to listen to. So now she's just saying, be selfish. Stay alone and be selfish. That's the worst freaking advice you can give another human being. Because the act of being selfish, meaning you first, number one, makes you an undesirable person. Why would anybody want to associate with another individual who just wants to take and get what they can get from you? Who? No one. So there, she's basically telling you, be undesirable. That's it. And then she's going to polish it up in these fluffy terms about aura and God and energy and all of this bullshit. In the end, she's saying, be happy being single on your own. And like I said in many other videos, number one, human beings are social creatures. If we do not interact with other people or we do not have a mate, it causes massive disruption in our psyche, in our mental health, in our physical health, in our societal interaction. And it gets really bad as we get older. We know this. So please, ladies, don't listen to women like this. If anything that I said made sense, you should know she's talking bullshit. But let's hear what else she has to say, just so you can understand. When you hear messages like this, stay away from it. I'm not going to interrupt this anymore.
I have a mentor who says, choosing yourself is choosing God. So choose God by choosing yourself. Now, family, church, and society did not make that easy for you, so I understand it's going to take some practical tools and tips to actually get that going. So here's number 2. Heal your codependency. When people hear codependency, they tend to think, oh, it's, you're super clingy or you get attached easily. Or no, codependency expresses itself in trying to control others. It expresses itself in trying to rescue others. It expresses itself in you jumping in when people didn't even ask for your help. And next thing you know, you help them. They're in a better position. You're worse off and they don't even say thank you. So now you resent them for it, but they never asked you for help.
Oh, sorry guys, I got freaking interrupted again. That's not codependency. That's just being a good bloody person. Okay, if you see someone in need and you help them and it comes from the goodness of your heart, your desire to be a good human being, it has nothing to do with codependency. Don't freaking throw these stupid terms in to confuse people. That's not codependency. That's me. When I want to help you or want to help this person or that person, whether it's helping an old lady with her groceries, bring them up the stairs, or helping somebody on the side of the road with a car, or I had a lady the other day that I've known here in Dubai for many years, and she's now going through a really hard financial situation, and she's trying to sell real estate. I've sold real estate for 17 years of my life. I said, listen, I'll come by and I'll give you, half an hour, the best tips I can give you. And I don't require anything from that, only because she's been a nice person. I don't mind helping somebody for half an hour, 45 minutes. I expect nothing from her. So she's basically saying this idea of helping someone is a codependency. It's BS, guys. Please don't listen to this crap.
Place. Whose block am I on? And so it's important to understand, one, what codependency is, and two, to honor that we have all been conditioned to be codependent, whether it's family, church, society, they're the unholy trinity as far as I'm concerned. The third piece of advice is to decolonize your faith, your religion, your spirituality, your spiritual practices. chances are, if you grew up in this country, especially if you're Black, you have some encounter with the Christian church.
All right, I had enough. It has nothing to do with the subject that we're talking about. But the point is, guys, please don't listen to single people who trying to keep you single. Misery Love Company. I've been over this in a few videos before, so I'm not going to get more into that. But I want you to just listen to a few people and see how influential people like this are, right? Comment Police says, I'm 36. My codependence just showed up as always looking for validation. This is good advice. In other words, people actually listen to this crap. Antoinette Jones says, this is so beautiful. 38 and I've been trying to love myself my entire 30s. I feel behind, but these three are definitely the lessons I'm learning. Wow. Janelle Page says, when you said codependency expresses itself in trying to control others, I gasped. You're definitely on my block. I don't know, man. I have nothing else to say. Women will listen to someone with an expressive tone and think that they're saying the best thing. No one listens with a critical mind anymore. And this is the crazy part about life, man. No one listens with a critical mind. But anyway, let's go on to the next individual that I want to highlight here.
To think. Do it when you find the right time. When the time is right.
Right.
That's how we've been conditioned to always wait until the time becomes right. But time doesn't exist. We do. So there is no right time. I create the right time. So it's more of switching your mindset to, I'm not going to wait till it's easy. I'm not going to wait till things get better because time is moving. My age is moving. My life is moving. My opportunities, the chances, everything is moving. So you create the right time. And I just did it. I just did what I felt without having fear of failing because I was never ashamed of failing.
Thank you. There, my friends, that is a critically thinking woman who have figured it out. Time is not a thing. It's a construct. You will change over time. So it doesn't matter what you do today. You must learn to say, okay, I'm going to make a decision. This person, this job, this career, this business, whatever it is, I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to do the best that I can at it. Unless it really starts to destroy me, I'm going to stick with it. And that's how you should treat life. Because I can tell you, this thing called time, which is literally never stopping for you, you will never find the right time to do anything. There's no right time to have a child. There's no right time to find a mate. There's no right anything. It's the best decision you can make based on the information and the intellect that you have at the time that you have to make a decision. Simple. And the best thing to do is to find other people who want to get the results or have gotten the results that you would like to get, and you consult or you get mentorship from them. In other words, if you want to be in a happy, healthy, long-term marriage, you go and find a couple who've been married 20, 30 years. Ask them about freaking relationship, not some single 40-year-old woman that's bitter on TikTok. Those are not the people that you go and ask for advice. I'm looking at doing what I call the Chronicle of Older Married People. And I'm basically trying to get people who have been married for over 20 years to come on the show, and we can have a candid conversation about how they handled their marriages and how they're getting it to work. So if you're interested, if you're a married couple and you want to do that, by all means, contact me. I'd be more than happy to have you on the podcast. Okay, we could do it either virtual, or if you're here in Dubai, I'd be happy to have you in the studio and we can sit, just have a good old back and forth. And we could just talk about married life. The idea is to get people to see the healthier part of marriages. Because so much of what we see online is the nasty parts. It's when the marriage have failed, but there are millions of marriages that are successful. Most people see the half that have failed. Most people only hear about the crap that happens in marriages. No one hears about the good stuff. No one hears about what people achieve into their later years. Because it's not that exciting. Drama is always more exciting. Most marriages are normal. Normal in the online content creating space is considered boring. That's the problem. And most of those people don't think that they have anything exciting to share to people who are used to crazy shit that they hear on the internet every day. But it is vital for you that have not been married to hear the good parts of marriages. All right, let's get into the next one.
30, still single and wish you weren't? I've got some good and bad news for you. The bad news is it's your fault. The good news is because it's your fault, you can do something about it. First, get your butt outside. You are not going to meet a 10 sitting on your couch. Second, learn to flirt. Starting can be as simple as paying a playful compliment like, "You have a phenomenal smile," to the barista who makes your coffee in the mornings. And third, close this app. Let's be honest, it is mostly a distraction.
Oh, she said that so well. Close this app. Yeah, she is right. But here's the thing that she contradicted herself on. Number one, everybody's looking for 10, and that's why no one has anyone. 10s are rare, and most women don't see men as a 10 unless he comes with a hell of a lot of money. So in other words, she's saying, oh, you're not going to find a very, very top 10% man in this world sitting on your butt at home. Yeah, you're not going to find him sitting on your butt at home, but you probably won't find him at the coffee shop either. That's the difference. And the barista that you're going to compliment, I can assure you he's not a 10. Now, the thing is, you could be nice to the barista, and he could probably refer you to a guy who's a 7, 8, or 9. But the point is, you should just be nice to all people. Be fit, be friendly, be agreeable, and it'll happen for you. Trust me, it will. Unfortunately, that's a tall order for most women these days.
During my 30th birthday, I was still single, and I wondered, will I ever meet the one? Will I ever get married? And all my friends, with their good intention, gave me terrible advice. I had some friends that said, maybe I should go back to my ex. Maybe I should try to make it work. Maybe they're the ones who got away. No. I had other friends who said, maybe I need to lower my standards. Maybe I'm just too picky. I don't want to be single the rest of my life, right? I said no to them as well. Because deep down, I knew I deserved more, and I wanted it all, and I wasn't going to settle just because I wanted to settle down. And I decided for my 30th birthday I was going to give a mantra, and that was better to be single and wish I was married than married and wish I was single. I decided to take time to heal my childhood wounds and my wounds from my ex and truly prioritize my healing and myself. I met my husband 8 months later, and I realized I wanted to make sure that when Mr. Right met me, not only would he be my Mr. Right, but I would be his Miss Right as well. And we're so grateful that we're now married 23 years. And here's what I learned. Now that I'm married, I'm happy I was single when I was single, and I'm thrilled that I'm married now.
Oh, here's one of those TikTok again where women are just flapping crap out of their mouth. Let's analyze what she just said. She didn't settle. The bottom line is, yes, she did settle. We all settle. Every single one of us settles. The mere fact that she got married, she settled for the man she thought that was good enough for her. She settled. So this idea is, I'm not going to settle. This is what keeps a lot of women freaking single. Because settling basically means that no one is good enough. No one. No one. And the men that she has fantasized about, they don't want her. So most women settle for the man at their level. They level out. And usually once you reach 30, yeah, you're going to level out to a man in your category. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. So all of these little poetic sayings, I don't even remember what she says. The bottom line is, 25 years ago, things were a lot different. The dating scene was a lot different, and you met a good man, and you settled, and you change your mindset. That's all that happened. But of course, they got to make a TikTok with a little poetic settling for the settle and settling, whatever. Ladies, you will have to so-called settle. Settling for what is determined by what level you're capable of attracting. Capable of attracting. Do you understand that? You will settle if you want a relationship, and you will only get the man that you are capable of attracting. Doesn't get any more complex than that. Here's where a lot of women end up going wrong.
To me, like you're someone else's birth.
Married. I don't have kids. In 6 months, I'm going to be 36 years old. I'm going to be 36, and I'm not married. I don't have kids. I rent my apartment, and I live in a city that
I don't really connect with. I'm not going to say I haven't had major breakdowns about it, because believe me, I have. But you know what? In this moment, and I don't know if it's just because the days are getting longer, but I'm okay with that because I get to figure out life on my terms.
No, you're not okay with that because you said earlier you have a problem. Sometimes it bothers you. You're not okay with it. What you're doing is you're coping and you're pushing it aside. You're pushing that dark feeling down. You know I'm not going to think about it. You're not okay with it. So please don't try to convince other women that you're okay with it and they should be okay with it. You screwed yourself by waiting too long. You're out of shape. You're incredibly overweight. There's not a lot of men that want a 36-year-old overweight woman. That's the reality of life. Now, let's hear how you're coping with this problem, because you want someone like every other woman wants a man, a mate, a provider guy, but you have a problem. I just mentioned what the problem is. You need to fix that.
I get to decide, and I didn't get to decide a lot in my life. Could still be in relationships where decisions were being taken from me. And all I can feel right now in this present moment is grateful that I'm 36 and I have none of the things that I thought I wanted.
Anytime you're in a relationship, you don't get to decide everything for yourself. Decisions have to be made with consideration of your partner. This is one of the major problems I see with a lot of single people. They want to have a relationship and still act single. This isn't how relationships work. And this brings me to that one major issue I see with a lot of bloody single people who have been off the market for a long time. They get so caught up with just being single, they've become accustomed to just them. It's me. Relationships is all about serving the other person. That's it. That's the essence of a relationship. Serving the other person. The person is there with you so that they can be happy with something that you're doing for them and vice versa. That's what relationships are. You're getting something from that person that you would not have if you were alone. And you're giving something to that person on the other end that they would not have if they were alone. Relationships is all about someone bringing something to the table that they are exchanging. And the majority of the time, all that is service. Whether that's you serving him a plate or him buying you a car or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just a service to each other. That's what relationships are, my friends. Take it from me. It's constant. It never stops. Whenever one side stops, then the other person feels like they're exhausted because they're not getting anything fed back into their pot. You have to feed them. They have to feed you. And this constant balance, this beautiful balance must occur. Anytime one side feels that they are just giving, they will become exhausted because you're not feeding them back. Please understand that. All right, one more video I want you guys to watch.
Hi, this is a TikTok specifically for girls that are in their mid-30s. So if you're not that, please go and learn a new TikTok dance. Do whatever you want. And no, we're not too old to be on here, and that's rude. I just wondered if you ever woke up and had like a midlife crisis for no reason. I feel like I went to sleep yesterday when I was 19 years old, not a care in the world, my whole life in front of me. And now I've woken up and I'm 36 and I'm single and I don't have family, I don't have kids, and I'm running out of time. And
this happens very often. A lot of women get caught up, and men as well, but because I'm talking about this specific topic. Women are on a very limited time span, and they have been told this bullshit lie that in your 20s you got to go out and have fun and party and have it. In other words, you still want to be a kid right up into your 30s. This is the problem. And then all of a sudden you blink and you realize that you're a middle-aged woman. Middle age is technically 37, my friends. I've said this many times. Most human beings these days live to around 77 years old. That is the average lifespan. Women have pushed it now to 82. So technically it's 40. But that's only if you're in pretty good health. Most of us, especially most women, are overweight, out of shape. Most of you will be on medication. most of you will not be in the optimum shape. So you will expire from this earth around 77 to 80 years old. So if you're 36, 37 years old, you're a middle-aged bloody woman. But you all lie to each other so much and like to keep this illusion that you're still young in your 30s. No, my friend, you're freaking middle-aged, okay? So all of a sudden, you blink and you realize, holy crap, half of my eggs are gone. By the time you reach 35, 36-year-old, you are in geriatric pregnancy. Most men don't find you desirable at that point because if this man who is successful that you want, if he wants to pop out 3 or 4 kids, you're not the mate for him. You're not that person. So my point is, ladies, be careful because time flies like you wouldn't believe. It just speeds up as you get older and older. And even though it physically don't, mentally it does. Let's finish this and see what else she has to say.
I don't know what to do about it. And that is a situation that is out of my control. And I try the dating apps and I try to go out and socialize and there are no men. So yeah, I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown and I just wondered if anybody else felt the same or if it was just me having a nervous breakdown on my own about the fact I'm going to die alone. Yeah, it'd be really great if you could let me know. Thanks.
Brothers, women are always very conscious of their age.
I hope that's not her real voice because that would stop her from dating as well. But I assume that's a voice disguiser. Listen, so many women are in this position. It's not funny, you know. The stats are clear. More than 45% of women will be single and childless by the year 2030. That's only 6 years from now, my friends. More than 45% of women. So she's just falling into that statistic. All I'm saying, my friends, is that make a decision now. Now, don't fool around with this thing called time. You might think you have a lot of it, but I can assure you, you don't. For men, their biggest problem is most of them have not acquired enough funds to take them through to the end of their life. Or they have not accumulated enough funds in order for them to provide for a family. Most men haven't been able to do it. Your average dude these days are not saving enough money to entice a woman to want to be with him. Because these women are not savers, they are consumers. So they're spending a shitload of money and then they expect a man to come in to provide for the family. Most of the women who are net savers, who do have a bit of money put away, invested, etc., they now want men that are much higher than them in order for them to say, hey, I'll link up with you. But if they don't want a man on their level or below their level. So most men have not been able to save enough to say, hey, I can now get a family and provide for our wife and kids. This is the dilemma that we have. So a man's pressure is in the finance area, and a woman's pressure is her assets, her physical beauty and her fertility. So in her later years, that's when she panics. For a man, it's all financial. He knows that in order for him to get a child, and he wants to be still young when he has the energy for a child, he's not capable of doing that. So there's pressure from both sides. So the only way to solve that, my friend, is for you ladies to stop fooling around. You need to stop. It has to come from the woman. You have to start approaching men and saying, hey, I'm ready. Hey, give me a chance. Here's what I'm bringing to the table. Not what you can do for me. Here's what I'm bringing to the table. That's how we solve this problem. Okay? The rules have changed, my friends. So if you ladies saying, I'm not going to approach any men, well then stay single. Men will go overseas. That's all. Men will say, okay, no problem. I'll save my money and just grab some prostitutes whenever I need to get off and build my nice house and live comfortably and have another house in Colombia or Panama or somewhere else in the world. I've had 2 men that are already doing that in their late 50s, never been married. Never been married. Got 2 businesses, 2 houses, 1 in 2 different countries, travels back and forth, just sleeps with prostitutes. That's it, done. And quite happy with that. So anyway, my friends, I'm going to knock it off there. Thanks so much for staying with me this long. Give me a thumbs up on this video. And go to askanolderman.com and sign up, okay? And so, until the next one, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.